Hello, hello. How are you? I'm Natalia, and in this video, I'm going to share a little bit about emotions in combination with the universal laws and energy, like everything I like to talk about. And why? Because I've been noticed the need of understanding a little bit more about our emotions and making ourselves responsible of them. We are living in at this moment of time. You may hear about astrology if you like, as me. What is happening in the energies around us, and it's intense. For some people, it could be intense. It's a moment of transformation, of renovation. And when that happens, it means something needs to die. No, nothing wants to die. there could be resistance. So for that reason, I thought, let's do a video explaining a little bit more. Maybe it could help you to go more with the flow of what is happening as much as you can. It requires for us, when we talk about emotions, it requires a lot of disciplines in making the time to understand ourselves, in reviewing our habits, in reviewing the relationships that we have with others, in checking our thoughts. It's all related. But today we are going to talk about the emotions. And the main point I want you to have a clear understanding here is that there is not such a thing as negative or positive emotions. There are emotions, and you need to imagine that the negative, let's say negative and a positive here, is the same thing, is the same vibration, but an extreme of the same vibration. A negative and a positive is just extremes of the same thing. We live in a world of polarities. Everything in this world, in planet Earth, has its opposite. And those opposites are identical in nature, but are different in degrees. That's the main thing I want you to understand from this video. It's an universal law. Let's go to more practical example. And we will take heat as an example. Heat is one thing, and it has two extremes that we could take it as hot and cold. Both of them are different degrees of heat. And in between, you may have like, it is slightly warm and slightly cold. There are different degrees of the two extreme, which is hot and cold. The same happen when we talk about dark and light. Extremes of the same vibration. And why is important to understand this? Because the importance is to bring those extremes in balance. In the point when we find the harmony in the middle. You may think, what are you talking, Natalia? Bear with me. When we understand the opposites, that any opposite lives within us, within all of us, and recognizing that both exist within you, and that there is no good or bad, there's just one extreme of the same thing, you start to play with it. You start to say, oh, okay, I'm more prone to this extreme. Maybe I can do something else to bring myself to the middle. And I will give you an example, personal example. Some people, I heard this a lot lately, when they say, oh, Natalia, you have a lot of light. You are always happy. You are always bringing calmness into the room. Yes and not. Why? I'm not always happy. That's not true. It's not possible. But what I learned is to bring those extremes into balance. I'm still learning. And all the light that you see that I am expressing outside, I'm reflecting on my reality, all that light is the same amount of darkness, of shadow that I allow myself to face. And this is very important, because when you see someone that is expressing something that you like, you also need to understand that the same measure goes to the other side. And I will explain you this with the pendulum, which is very practical example. You will understand better maybe. Let's say this is the middle, okay? The pendulum, every time you move, it moves to this two sides the same measure. The same distance that it moves to this side, it will move to the other side. The same distance. Middle, to the left, to the right. So if you see that I am sharing a lot of light, is because that swing to the light, it went already all the way to the darkness. I hope this, you will keep that in mind for now. And when you understand that this is a universal law, I'm not creating anything. When you understand this law, that is basic, you understand that if you want to connect with the God, with the Creator, with the One, the All, you need to know yourself. You need to know who you are. You need to know your own humanity. And at the same time, you need to know the divine essence that is within you, your wholeness. Hmm? And for some people, it's terrifying because are afraid of their own power. Hmm? Bringing more life, more light, bringing more light into your life, it means that you need to go deep, like go into the swimming pool, very deep, 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 deep into your own darkness, into your fears, into your limitations, knowing every single pattern, or at least the ones that you are ready to face, that is making a limitation for you to go forward, something that you want to, and accepting them. Because once you say it, you say, okay, yes, I'm seeing it. You are there. I accept that you are there. And now I can work with you. And I invite you to the team instead of fighting against it. And it requires a lot of discipline and commitment to your inner work. It can mean that sometimes you have some nights that you are crying without knowing why, or uncertainty, and telling to yourself, trust. That's something I repeat to myself a lot. Trust, Natalia, trust. It means making time for you being alone and listen to your inner child, listen to your own emotions, saying, yes, you are there. I know you are there. I can hold the space for you. It's making your personal growth a priority. That's key. Another key point here is understanding that in this world, this planet Earth that we are living, this reality, you are part of nature. Simple. And you follow the cycles of nature, if you like it or not. We will have time for introspections, everyone, and we will have times where we want to blossom, we want to express, like Earth. Like Earth has time of spring, season of spring, so summer, and seasons of winter and autumn. It's a cycle and goes on and on and on and on. The same for you. It's the same. And as soon as you get more into this cycle of nature, which it will be recognizing your own cycles of nature, you will understand that you will need time to go inward, to rest, to get stronger, to make results for the next season. And there will be seasons where you will express fully and you say, yes, this is all I want to share. If you hear sounds around, it's because this house speaks, the walls speak. It has very bad insulation. Sorry about it. And here I put a brackets. Because most of people here is when they start to compare themselves. And say, oh no, because my neighbor is in the time of expressing and blossoming, and I am in the time of rest. And this is okay. Should I be in the time of expressing the same as my neighbor? No. No. Your neighbor is your neighbor, you is you. And you will need to start learning how your own cycles works. And it takes time. It's not one day by another. It just takes time. Okay? And in those times of introspections, when you start to go inward, when you start to allow those time for yourself, is when you start to learn about your emotions and understand that your emotions fluctuate. Always. And you understand that the interpretation of and the perspective that you have as negative and positive emotions change because you see them all as a learning lesson rather than thinking, oh no, this is an emotion, it's a bad emotion. No, that emotion is trying to show you something for you to push you to a new direction. So then you realize, oh yes, thanks that I was feeling fear on this situation, now I got the courage to do it because I allow myself to feel it. But that requires time for introspection and sometimes a lot. And you will start to see those times of introspection as a period of getting stronger and learning from it. So, because you will saw your limitations. And here is when you see your limitations, is when you have the ability and you start to work with them. And as I said before, emotions fluctuate into positive and negative all the time. They are not static. They are constantly emotion. It's an energy. An emotion is an energy in movement. And because it's an energy in movement, it needs to be moved. How do you move it? You feel it. When people say, you need to feel the emotions. Yes, you need to move it. You need to feel it through your entire body in order to release it. And as I said before, there is no good or bad. There's just emotion asking you to be expressed, to be felt, to be lived. Each emotion, it has their own vibrational state, let's say. And they will flow in your body, and depending the vibration of the emotion, they say happiness or fear or joy, guilty. There are different expressions, different frequencies that you may feel it in different parts of your body. But because the same, your body, each part, each organ vibrates in different frequency that relates those emotions. That's the reason, because just sometimes you feel certain emotion in certain parts of your body. And when they get stuck, you may start the manifestation of an emotion getting stuck. You may start feeling pain on those areas. And let's say some of them are very gentle, like a water pond. You are like, okay, my emotions today are like a water pond, very still. Some of them, lately, I've noticed a lot, they're like a tsunami. Both are valid. Both. A lot of people fear facing the tsunamis, but tsunamis are gifts. Mhm. When it tries to your own emotions, when I'm talking to your own waters. And it's important here to pay attention when a tsunami is coming, so you know how to work it in yourself instead that water gets out of your relationship, out of your friendships, and it gets out of control. Hmm? And for most people, the tsunami, again, is terrifying because you have never seen it or ever experienced it. Or it feels like so overwhelmed that it's like boom, it goes out of you. Hmm? Remember the example of cold and hot? That everything is the same thing, the same vibration of the same thing, and it's just extreme of cold, another extreme is hot. Okay. Let's say an experience started with a very cold sensation. Hmm? And you started, let's take an example in a relationship. You start in a relationship and everything is cold, chill, still. And then you didn't say no to something that you didn't want to do. So there is a heat there. Then you did something that you didn't want to do. So the heat keep coming up. Then you realize, oh no, I don't want to go with this person to somewhere else because I want to spend time with myself. I'm not going to tell him because it's going to create a discussion. So I'll go. So the heat going up. Then you maybe, not all the time happen this, but maybe you realize that you are no longer happy in that relationship. Are you still there because you are afraid of ending up alone, or you are afraid of not being the chance to have a family? So it still keep going up. You get the point? Until some point, the heat it goes to the other extreme of hot and explode. And how it manifests that in your life? Pain, illness, challenging experiences that are trying to tell you it's time to let go. It's time to burn all of that and make a space to go back to the balance again. And this doesn't mean that you always will stay in the middle in the balance. It will be boring. But as the pendulum I showed you before, it goes to one side and to another, to one side and to another. It depends how many tools and how good are you to handle those swings. It will go to more extremes or not. And it's important here also to recognize that you don't have to do this alone. If you have the tools to do it alone, great, amazing, do it. But if not, seek support. Please seek support. There are plenty of therapists. Look the one that resonate for you at this moment of time. Personally, I help through coaching and energy work because I love to treat everything as a holistic approach. Now let's go back to the energy. Those emotions, as I mentioned before, is an energy. It's a vibration. It's a frequency that's just there for you to see it, for you to feel it, to notice and accept it. Accept it. Mainly the ones that you don't like it. Those ones the most. The ones that is society sees as the bad emotions. The wild ones, like the rage, like that you need to shout. Well, yeah, those ones. Because those ones are the ones that create more pain and illness. I will share now with you an exercise, or you can call it a ritual, that will help you to move those emotions. First, create a space for yourself. Create a space of stillness, the space of maybe not stillness, but a space of calmness, though no one will disturb you in this time. No one. It's just space for you. Maybe you can place the candles, you can burn some incense before. You need to feel comfortable in that space because it will be your space of expression. And you are worthy to have that space for yourself. It's a place for you to release, okay? Personally, the one that I love the most is dancing. It's my favorite. And depends the emotions, I dance the emotions or I paint the emotions. If the emotion is more burning, the heat that it needs to go out, I dance it. Because the body is asking for movement and for a lot of movement. And feeling and allow the energy to go through every single part of your body. That's my favorite. So I will share with you that one. Let's take an example, frustration. As an example. So what you're going to do, you're going to play the song that you like, that you prefer. And you're going to focus and think, okay, I want to connect with my frustration today. If you don't know with what you want to connect, I want to connect with my emotions. And you start to breathe in your body. And without thinking, because this is key, without thinking, you will start to move your body and start to feel the body. And maybe you will start to feel some pain or some sensation in certain areas of your body. So you will start to breathe into that area and move it. And move and breathe into the area that you feel that sensation, that frustration. And then you will start to feel that the frustration runs all entire your body and you start to feel, and if you need to shake it, if you need to shout, if you need to punch a pillow, do it. Because that's the way that you release it. And if you feel like, no, this is too much for me, I feel that this is something that I cannot do. Because maybe my neighbor is going to hear my shouting. Well, what is more important? Your own health or what other people are going to think? Put the music louder. I don't know. It doesn't have to take a long time, maybe an hour. Go to somewhere else that is not your home. Go to somewhere else. Go to nature. Go to groups. There are groups of people. There are therapies of rage that they just shout and they just release everything. There are. Look that in your town. How many times? As many as you need. As many as you need. Because sometimes those emotions have been there for a very long time and it needs some process. And maybe it takes months, maybe it takes weeks, maybe it takes a day. Depends on you. How much you allow yourself to feel it. And what is the worst that could happen? Try it. I invite you to try. Don't believe what I'm saying. Just try by yourself and experience by yourself. If there is something more gentle that you think, okay, I can paint this. I can feel the emotions and then I can put colors and painting, or I can create something with it. So I can feel through my hands. That's another one, another way. It depends like I said before, the fluctuation of the emotions. If it's a pond, still pond, or there is a tsunami. There's a tsunami, dance it or move it. Run, that's another one. You don't want to dance. Run, walk, do exercise in the gym. But very present, very, very present with the movement of your muscles. Okay? It's a lot. It's time for all of us to make ourselves responsible for our emotions, our thoughts and our emotions. But this video was about emotions. Thoughts, we will talk another time. And to take out the pressure of it, what I like to do as well is to think that there is a game. Life is a game. Like I'm playing a video game where I'm passing levels every time I have a challenge. I say, oh yes, I passed that level because I learned the teaching of that of that phase. It's more fun. Take the pressure of the seriousness of it. And when you understand that there is no good or bad thing, it's just it is. You take the pressure of it. And allow yourself to make this as a process of a life journey. It's not one day to another. It's something that your entire life here on this planet is a learning process. I'm telling you right now, if you don't know it already. So take it more easy. Give more compassion to yourself. Start today where you can. Don't try to run a marathon when you have never run it in your entire life. So start little by little, and at some point you will be able to run the marathon. But today, start where you are, and that's okay. The discipline and devotion to yourself, it will determine the results. I hope all of this information helps. You take, as I said at the beginning, you take what you resonate with you at this moment of time, and you let go what it doesn't. I send you a lot of light and love to you, to your journey. Thank you very much for sharing this moment with myself. If you finish this video with myself, thank you, thank you, thank you. Send you a lot of love. See you soon.